Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the greatest podcast in existence, The Essence of Greatness. Sorry for the break that we took. I think we've both been relatively busy being college students and all. We tend to have, other lives outside of this. So I haven't been able to ask this in a while. But Jared, how you doing?
It's just another day in the park, Another day.
Absolutely.
Struggling,
Absolutely.
struggling through Atlanta sports, per usual.
Well, that's the whole point of what we're doing today because this is the time of year when fans like us who watch, perpetually depressing teams can talk themselves into hope for the next season or two. So, the plan for today, ladies and gentlemen, is to do a 2 round full NFL mock draft. Every pick will be made in the first 2 rounds. We don't want to get in the third, fourth, fifth, because that's where it becomes basically a crapshoot. I'm going to be honest, I'm still trying to figure out who I like down there and, kind of like the players' names to remember
Mm-hmm.
them. Still reading through the scouting reports, but the first 2 rounds, I think I have a really good idea of the guys that I'm vibing with. And I think I have a good idea of what everybody would be doing. So, what we're going to do, let me get that up. Oh, there it is. All right, so y'all can see now. We've got the mystical magical. If I could move Jared's. There it is. Okay, I figured out what I was doing eventually. All right. So, as we can see, we have all of the picks set up. Now, how are we going to do this, Jared? Do you want odds or evens?
I think the last time I had evens.
All right, so do you want odds this time?
I'll take odds again.
All right, he will take odds. I will be evens. So we'll go one, two, three, four, yada, yada, yada. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to start the draft now, which puts Jared on the
On the
clock
clock.
for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
All right. Well, see, personally, okay, are we doing this based on like what we think they're gonna do, or like if we're drafting as the team?
This is Jared. We're the best GMs alive. Why would we listen to Trent Baalke over us?
Okay. All right.
We
What's
wouldn't
we're
have given
trying to guess?
Christian. We wouldn't have given Christian Kirk $18 million.
All right. I was just trying to make sure we weren't gonna guess what they're gonna do. All right, bet. So if I'm the Jaguars personally, you gotta protect Trevor Lawrence. You
Mhm.
can't let him just get plastered like freaking what's his face? Joe Burrow was last year and the season before that. So we get some beef up front. We're getting Evan Neal.
Evan Neal.
We're
All
getting Evan
right,
Neal.
that is a solid pickup. Big boy out of Alabama. So that brings you to Detroit at number 2. That's me, obviously. Now, I don't agree with PFF. I've never been a big fan of the way that PFF classifies needs because I feel like calling a quarterback a need for them, or, well, actually, calling linebacker a need for them is crazy because realistically, linebacker is probably one of the last things that you hit on. Detroit really just needs like players,
Talent. They
yeah,
need talent.
they need a base to kind of sit on. But I think their
Mm-hmm.
offensive line is passable for the most part. They've got I think they still have guys like Taylor Decker over there, Frank Ragnow now, and pieces on their O line. And it's also for me, it's hard to pass on the hometown boy. Because that's a ready-made marketing campaign for a team that you're built to make money in the end. So I think
Mm-hmm.
Detroit goes with Aiden Hutchinson here.
They also drafted Penny Sewell last year, so they're investing back-to-back years in
Yeah,
O
there's
line
that
to
too.
be. Yeah.
Give him another year, and I think he'll be a beast.
Oh yeah. Apparently he was pretty bad last year, which is kind of funny.
Well,
Um,
yeah,
but
he
he's a
was
rookie
moving over to
year.
the right side.
Exactly. I think he needs another year and a half. So Texans here, I like if PFS says they need everything, which I 100% agree with. Uh, I'm gonna give them. If I'm the Texans, I'm going with the best DB on the board, and I'm taking Derek Stingley just
I
because
could
they need
argue with you on if he's the best DB on the board, but
best CB. Sorry, let me rephrase it. He's the best CB.
I don't know, man. Personally, I'm on the Sauce Gardner train, but that's a conversation for another time. So moving to number 4, you've got the New York Jets, which again, listing linebacker as one of your top 3 needs is a little weird to me, but it is what it is. Um, right here, I feel like the Jets, they could go a number of directions, obviously, looking at who is available. I feel like the best option for them, I don't think drafting a wide receiver this early is smart because I feel like there's so many receivers they can pick up in this draft. So at
Definitely.
4, I think you'd have to stick in the trenches. And I feel like for them, the best thing that they could do is take Ike Ekwonu because I don't necessarily know if they're all in on Mekhi Becton just yet. And I think Icky would give them that insurance policy. And if Mekhi develops and becomes a stud, then you have the best tackle tandem in the league.
That's exactly what I would do too. Moving on to the Giants here. I think this player goes to them no matter what, whether it's at 5 or 7. I think they're good. I think they take him at 5 just to make sure they get him. I'm gonna slide them Kayvon Thibodeaux. So
Okay.
yeah,
Kayvon.
I think he goes there no matter what, whether it's a 5 or 7. I think he's gonna end up there.
Yeah, that's not a bad pick. Now the Panthers at 6 are a very interesting case. If we're talking about what I think they're going to do, I think they're going to take a quarterback because I think Matt Rule is fighting for his job, and I think the GM is fighting for his job as well. And I think David Tepper is going to demand that they take a quarterback, probably Kenny Pickett, because of the amount of ties that he has to everybody in that organization. But we don't care what they're going to do because it matters what I think they should do.
We want to do.
And I think they have to have protection because their offensive line is not good. So they are probably praying that Evan Neal and Icky drops to one of those guys drops to him, but they don't. But they get probably the best consolation prize alive in that they get Charles Cross, who is a ready-made pass protector who you can mold into a running back. He's going to be a very good tackle, I think, in this league.
I 100% agree. Also, I find it funny that I think the Panthers will also take a quarterback at 6, but they can easily trade back, but they won't because they're dumb.
Who knows, man?
All right, so at 7, I'm gonna give Giants some more defensive help here, and it's gonna come in the form of Mr. Sauce Gardner.
You give him Sauce.
Sauce.
All right. Hey, that's a solid pickup for them. They definitely need that corner. The Falcons' needs really could just be every position. We know that we've talked about that. So the issue here is which way do you go? And looking at the players available, I am a big Drake London fan, but I feel like at 8, taking a wide receiver is a bit of a wasted pick because he's not really going to help you for another year or so. And I also think you can get similar players to him, not as big or as good, but you can get similar guys. Really right now, for me, it comes down to Kyle Hamilton or Trayvon Walker. Because I've heard rumors that Trayvon's going a lot higher than 8. I personally think it's a smokescreen.
I've heard rumor at 1.
I understand drafting for traits, but this would be the extreme. Yeah, that would be extreme drafting for traits, though. But if it were me, and if it were me making the pick, man, see, it's so tough. I like both of them. I'd go Kyle Hamilton. I'd go that having that chess piece is going to be huge for Dean Pease, having a 6'4" safety who's shown the ability to play in coverage. Basically having a Tyrann Mathieu on your team, I think it makes it so much easier for you to kind of mix and match your defense.
Yeah, I see that. He's
compared to Isaiah Simmons.
Yeah, but Simmons has been, at least when I've seen him, Simmons has been kind of a little dull in my opinion. You kind of cut out. Hold up. You're still froze. Oh, there we go. You're frozen. I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right. So with Seattle at 9, they could go quarterback. I'm still on a rumor that Faker's gonna go to Seattle. I think it'll happen eventually, because he's better than any quarterback in this draft, and we all know that. So I'm gonna give them next best available and Trayvon Walker. Get their defense going. Their defense has been very bad.
Trayvon. Yeah. No, I'm with you on that one. All right, that's not bad. So number 10, New York Jets. So we already addressed their offensive line with Icky. And honestly, I think the Jets have a relatively solid defense currently. I think they've got some pieces. And on top of that, there isn't anybody on the board right now that I would necessarily give to them as like a difference maker at 10. And also, this would be a boon for Zach Wilson. I think you need to give him as many weapons as possible, which is one of the reasons why I don't want the Falcons to go quarterback this year, because it'd be like putting a guy in a bare bones cockpit and asking him to fly the plane. Just not a good idea. I think the Jets right here should take Drake London because, like I said, I'm a big fan of Drake. I'm a big fan of the jump ball receiver type thing, and I think he's got the route running to be able to kind of counteract any kind of questions.
I like it. So here we're at Washington. Honestly, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take the first quarterback off the board for Washington. I don't know what they'll do, but I do think they're gonna need a quarterback. I think they're gonna be the ones to do it, and I'm gonna slide them Blake Harris.
Yeah, that's probably one of the better situations for Malik because he would be able to come in and sit behind Carson Wentz. Now you hope he doesn't actually learn from Carson Wentz because Carson Wentz has very little to actually teach him, but it would give him a chance to kind of.
I mean Willis. Jesus, I can't speak English. Sorry.
I think you said Willis. Either way. So Minnesota Vikings at 12. This one was an interesting one because I've seen a lot to give them Trent McDuffie. I'm personally not the biggest McDuffie fan. And I think they do need a corner, but like I think Andrew Booth, Kaiir Elam, I think those guys are overdrafted here at 12. So I think they'd go a different route. I think if it were me, looking at who is available, I would go with that because I think Minnesota is attempting to get back into the playoffs this next season. And if I were them, I'd try to do the same thing because I think you have the basis. You've still got Adam, the NFL receiver. You've got Jay Jetta. You've got Dalvin Cook. You've got Danielle Hunter. You've got pieces. So if I were them, I would take George Karlaftis and bank on the floor hitting more than the upside.
And I think if they were ready for rebuild or like to move on, they would have not re-signed Kirk. But the fact they re-signed Kirk Cousins means they were trying to one more like push before that.
Yeah. So I would build their defense back up because I think one of the biggest things they've been missing is that guy right next to Hunter because Hunter's also had some injury issues. So getting a guy like Karlaftis that can come in and get you 7 to 8 sacks in an NFL season.
Yeah, we all remember how good that Vikings defense used to be back in the day.
Ferocious.
It was insane. Texans here again, just talent. They need anything and everything they can take. I'm going to slide them the second best receiver in this draft, Garrett Wilson. Give whoever their quarterback is next season some help. It could be, what's his face? David Mills, whatever his freaking face is. But
Davis Mills actually, don't disrespect too much. Davis Mills
I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying it could be anybody.
Has something behind him.
They got Brandon Cooks. Give him someone like Garrett Wilson. That's 1-2. Chris Conley over there too. That's not bad.
Yeah. So the Baltimore Ravens, the most popular one that I've seen to the Baltimore Ravens is Jordan Davis because they need a run stuffer. I personally will not be giving them Jordan Davis because I have questions about the strategy of drafting a 2-down lineman at 14. So instead, I'm going to stay on the D-line, but I'm going to give him the other Georgia boy. I'm going to give him Devontae Wyatt.
Okay.
Because I think Devontae Wyatt has a lot more versatility to his game. He can actually stay on the field for 3 plays. And I think there's a chance that he develops into something a little bit more than a run stopper, which I think is what Jordan Davis is going to be throughout most of his career.
All right. I like it. So we're at the Eagles now. All right. So with the Eagles, this trade, in my opinion, is not going to be the Eagles trade or pick come draft day in 7 days, 8 days, wherever we're at, 6 days, whatever. I think they're going to trade it. But with what's left on the board right here, and I think they're going to go linebacker and take Nakobe Dean.
It's not bad. I don't mind that. All right, New Orleans at 16. So first of all, I would not be surprised if New Orleans trades up for a quarterback if like a run starts happening, and if rumors are coming out that Carolina is going to take them. But since we're smart and we didn't take a quarterback that early, they are able to stay still and pick up their core. Because I think if I were them, I would grab a quarterback right here,
Mhm.
just in case, because I would not entrust my franchise to crab legs. So
Jameis.
looking at who's available, I think
JW.
considering they're basically going to be running the exact same offense, I think it would help them to take a quarterback that is relatively similar to Drew Brees, and I think that guy is Matt Corral. So I think if they pick up a guy like Matt Corral, you set 16, 19, they could always pick him up in the second round too, because I don't think he'll last necessarily. I think he'll last to that. But if I'm them right there, I'm locking down the guy that I want for that, because I think he would fit
Mhm.
the run.
They could take Ritter.
Him
But...
and Slant Boy are going to make magic together.
Oh yes, Slant Boy. Woo! Goat monster. Mm.
All right, Chargers at 17.
Chargers at 17. Well, we all know the Chargers absolutely have like one of the best off seasons ever possible. The Chargers roster is it's fire. The Chargers roster is fire. Only thing I can see them maybe getting this year, like in need of, is O line. You can't protect the quarterback enough. You know, unless you're getting literally no sacks a season, which is impossible. You can't. You know, you can never have too many O linemen. So I think they'll take O lineman here, and they'll take Mr. Bernard Raymond.
Raymond. Okay.
Yes, sir.
If it was me there, I would take a tackle, but I would have taken Trevor Penning. That's just me, though. I think he's got higher upside. Either way, the Eagles on the clock at 18, so we already gave him the linebacker, and this is where I think you start looking at the corner, because I think they really need a corner.
They need a lot of things.
Everything I've read is very positive about McDuffie. The only negative seems to be he's small. But I think you can overcome that because he's got the technique. And worst case scenario, you draft an elite slot defender. So I think they pick up. I would pick up McDuffie there, and I would start building out that secondary. Now you've built out the defense.
Part of me feels like they're going to go with Jameson Williams just to pair him with Smith again, and have like a Alabama trio with Hurts, Williams, and Smith.
Yeah.
I think they'd be really fun to watch, honestly. But I don't think they'll do it, but they should.
It depends on if you want to. It depends on if you want to take the gamble on the ACL.
Yeah, and you're also taking the gamble on getting Jalen Hurts still be your franchise quarterback, because they did say they want to trade for picks next year, so they can be in the run for Bryce Young or CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
So they're not even sold on Jalen Hurts yet, which is kind of funny to me too. Well, the Saints here, you just took quarterback. They definitely do still need a wide receiver on that team, because they've got Slant Boy. That's about it.
Yeah.
What's his first name again? Marquez Callaway, whatever his freaking name is. He's not good.
They've got Marquez Callaway.
He's not good. They're gonna get some speed on that team. Gavin James and Williams.
Not a bad pick. I thought I was thinking about that for 16, honestly, before I took Corral. All right, at number 20, you've got the Pittsburgh Steelers. So
obvious.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think of another one. I have no desire, if I'm the Steelers, to see a season where Mason Rudolph is unopposed for the starting quarterback job. So if I'm them, I'm taking if I'm them, I'm taking Desmond Ridder.
Yes.
I think they would go Kenny Pickett there because of the Pittsburgh connection, but I'm not sold on Kenny Pickett. I'm going Desmond Ridder.
I think if they don't take one in the first round, they'll definitely take one in the second round, and just be whatever one's left, they'll just snag them.
Or they'll just trade for Jimmy G. But I don't see them giving up assets for Jimmy Garoppolo.
I'd honestly, like, Jimmy G is probably better than any quarterback in this draft class, but if I'm any team, I would never trade for Jimmy G, because he's terrible to watch. He's disgustingly bad.
Yeah.
He's not good. The Patriots, shit. The Patriots here, they need weapons. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. They need Olave. Give Bill Belichick Olave.
Yeah, I think that's a match made in heaven right there. Green Bay. So there's only one thing to do here for Green Bay. Realistically, they have to go wide receiver. I feel like because the run has been on wide receivers. I mean, we've seen two taken in the last three picks. We've already lost Garrett Wilson and Drake London off the board. So when you're looking, you see a lot of other guys that are still available. And I feel like right here is a good time as any to give them a nice matchup guy. I think they take Traylon Burks. I wouldn't necessarily think that'd be the first choice if I was them. I wouldn't necessarily like want to be forced to take Traylon. I think Traylon is a very good talent to pick up. He's very Debo Samuel esque.
Yeah, that was see the comparison for sure. With the Cardinals here, you got to figure out. First of all, their biggest concern now is figuring out if they're going to have Kyler Murray next year.
Yeah.
If not, they need to be trading him for some picks and get the quarterback. But to keep Kyler Murray there, you got to give him some protection. And Tyler Linderbaum has fallen far enough. We're going to give Linderbaum to the Cardinals.
Okay.
Solid center, great protection.
Yeah, the only issue is the size with him.
Yeah, but I mean,
I think in the spread out offense, I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, he can. If he's smaller, I mean, I don't look at his combine numbers, but I'm assuming if he's smaller, he's a little faster. I'm gonna hope. So I'm hoping he can be able to roll out with Tyler. And
he moves. He's a mover. He's a mover.
Perfect. I was pretty sure he should be able to move and slide with Tyler perfectly then.
So Dallas at 24. First of all, the fact that Jermaine Johnson has fallen this far.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about him, honestly.
Yeah, I didn't. He wasn't up there.
Because PFF ranked so off, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. Either way, I don't know why he's so low on this. He's a very good talent, but I don't think Dallas takes him. I think Dallas has a lot of other bigger needs. I think that I've seen this mashup so many times. And I think it's just perfect. Dallas takes Zion Johnson. I think Zion to me is the best interior prospect in this draft, and that's with Linderbaum because Zion took snaps at center at the Senior Bowl, and I think he's going to be great no matter where he lines up.
I like it. With the Bills here, I'm very, very tempted to reach for a receiver, but it's a little too far to reach right now. Mm-hmm. If Olave somehow fell or one of those top 5 receivers, I would definitely slide him to the Bills and just be like, dude, look at this insane offense. Go for it. But with those receivers gone, I'm going to give them a linebacker. Well, it's a jump ball between Jordan Davis and Devin Lloyd. I'm going to go ahead and give him Devin Lloyd just because I think that he'll be better on that defense.
Okay.
Jordan Davis will be nasty to see beside Ed Oliver, but I think they're going to pass on Jordan Davis and take Devin Lloyd.
I think Tennessee's decision, looking at the board, if I'm them, I think it's easy for him. I think you got to go Jermaine Johnson and stop that slide because he's very similar to Karlaftis in that I think he's going to come in tomorrow. He'll probably won't get you as many sacks as Karlaftis, but he'll give you 6, maybe 7 or 8, and then he'll be a great run defender. He can come in and start tomorrow next to Harold Landry, and I think that would be a great matchup.
Yes, I agree with that one too. Well, Tampa Bay here, I'm going to give them a ferocious front 7 and give them Jordan Davis. Vita Vea and Jordan Davis, good luck running the ball.
That's so depressing, bro.
Good luck running the ball.
That's
Atlanta.
So
they said screw y'all. You're not running the ball for nothing. Vita Vea, Jordan Davis, they're just going to stand there. They don't have to move. They're just going to stand there, and their 300-pound bodies are going to take up the entire O line. And they're just going to stand there. I think if you're Buccaneers, you're hoping for that because that would be insane to watch or just to see happen. 2 freaking monsters beside each other.
So the move here from Green Bay is pretty obvious, right? They got to go Sam Howell because that Jordan Love pick didn't work out. So they're going to take another quarterback to piss off Aaron Rodgers so that he plays great throughout the next 4 years. Obviously, I'm joking. That would be a stupid move if I'm the GM. We are not Green Bay. Green Bay, looking at who is available, I feel like you already took your wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like a very Green Bay pick. I think if I was them, this is where I would do it. I would take Ojabo because I think I'm willing to take a medical red shirt at the end of the first round on a guy that can be so incredibly dynamic when he's healthy.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. With the Chiefs, they replaced freaking Tyreek Hill with Juju Smith-Schuster, which is a major downgrade. So looking for a receiver at some point in this draft. I think they wait. They could easily here, I think, snag George Pickens or Sky Moore or someone like Jahan Dotson. One of those, like middle, like one of those guys who's like late first, maybe mid first to like early second. I think they could snag one. But I think they're not going to because the Chiefs have always kind of had like Tyreek Hill plus some two random players at receiver. And I think they're going to just put faith in Juju for now. I think they'll definitely take a receiver later, but I think they're going to go on the defensive side of the ball. They're going to take Andrew Booth.
Andrew Booth, okay. Build out that corner room.
Because they have no.
Well, I have the next pick for the Chiefs. I've grabbed control of the draft board from you, and I don't think they wait. I think waiting would be a disservice to the team because the Chiefs don't pick again until 50. Right? Yeah. So there's 20 picks in between then, and by that point, Sky Moore, Dotson, Pickens, Tolbert, even Christian Watson could all be gone, and then you're picking between Alec Pierce, Khalil Shakur, John Mechie. And that's not what you need. I think they go Jahan Dotson because I'm yet to understand why Jahan Dotson has fallen down draft boards. He's so dynamic with the ball in his hands. I think he'd fit right into that offense for what they're trying to do now, which seems to be kind of create stuff underneath.
Yeah. With this pick, I mean, obviously going O-line. If Linderbaum fell, Linderbaum's the easy pick. But with Kenyon Green's on the board, they're gonna go Kenyon Green.
Kenyon Green is on the board, bro.
Yeah, they gotta protect Joe Burrow. It's either Kenyon Green or Linderbaum. Linderbaum's gone, so Kenyon Green it is.
Kenyon Green, okay. I was looking at Trevor Penning. That could have been a good pick.
I was too, but I think they need Trevor Penning could probably definitely guard, but I think they need someone that because they're a Super Bowl team. They don't need to take a gamble. Like they could take a gamble because they got talent, but they need someone that can come in and play guard and knows how to do it and can do it right day one.
Yeah,
and because if they do that, if they can protect Joe Burrow better than last year, Super Bowl.
Yeah,
done.
Alex Kappa and Kenyon Green is a much better guard combination than what they had last year.
Yep.
So Detroit with another second-round pick, or with their other first-round pick, I wouldn't take Sam Howell here.
I wouldn't take him in the 7th.
You know what?
Sam Howell's garbage.
Ignore that. I'm going to take Sam Howell. Oh, wait, let me look at the quarterbacks. Who's available? Actually, I'm going to take Kenny Pickett.
Yes.
I take him at the back of the first round for the simple fact of you get that 5th-year option on him, so you're able to pick him up. And you're able to bring him in, and you have an extra year if you want to evaluate him. And also, he's better than Sam Howell.
Honestly, I hate to say it, but if I'm an NFL GM, I wouldn't draft Sam Howell in the 7th round.
I don't know if it's that far. I think he's got some good traits. He's got a good arm.
So not gonna get into say out loud. I almost went there. Never mind. Can't go there. Cannot say that. Continue.
I'm done with mine. I was waiting for you to make your point. Go ahead. Make your Jacksonville pick at the top of the second.
Okay. Jacksonville starts off day 2. They already who did I give him? I gave him Evan Neal. I'll try Evan Neal. So I think here they're gonna stick on. They're gonna not stick. They're gonna switch the offensive, defensive side of the ball. Good Lord. I'm gonna give them Petrie because I think he's better than Kaiir Elam. And they need defense. Simple as that.
Yeah. Petrie does tend to be more of a safety from what I've seen. I think
that
one goes back and forth. It seems like he can kind of play anywhere and everywhere. They compare him to Budda Baker, so that's not a bad pickup. So Detroit right here. Thank you for not taking him. I'm giving him Kaiir Elam because I think Elam needs snaps, and I think he'll get him there. And he doesn't necessarily have the greatest tape, but I mean, the dude's like 6'2", 6'3". I think he has 4.3 or very low 4.4 speed. I don't see an issue in picking him up right here and giving him a chance to prove himself.
The reason why I think the Lions won't take Kaiir Elam because he is exactly the same as Jeff Okudah, and Jeff Okudah sucked butt.
Yeah, but Okuda was at the top. I think Okuda was just kind of like overhyped a little bit
Overhyped.
apparently, and also he did just tear his Achilles in that second season. Like we haven't had a second season to look at him. He only had the 1 year, and that was the COVID year.
Yeah, true.
Hey,
I
listen,
still
if it's
think
me and I'm building a team, 2 cornerbacks with speed, length, and the ability to play both man and zone, I don't have an issue with that. If it busts, then oh well. Every other
oh
football
well,
analyst is with me, and that they thought
that's
that would
true.
work.
True. Shoot. Okay. The Jets here. Who did the Jets take first round? Let me revisit this.
Jets have taken Ike
Drake
Ekwonu
London.
and Drake
Drake
London.
London. So they've taken O line.
Yes.
Oh, I mean offense. They've taken offense. Okay. Well, honestly, I think this player's gonna go a lot earlier than some people will think. I think they can take Leo Chenal. We're gonna slide him Leo.
Okay. I was listening to a dude talk about a Falcons mock draft he did, and he had Leo in the 3rd round, and I was like, I don't know, man.
That's
Maybe
not
it's
gonna
because I
happen.
used PFF, but that dude's
I don't
gone
think
by
that's
like
gonna happen.
45.
I think he's 50 the very, very latest.
I don't know. In all honesty, I think there's going to be after Nakobe and Devin Lloyd go, I don't think you're going to see a linebacker called for 2025 picks because they have the ability to diagnose plays, and all the other linebackers after them are really just like speed threats that don't necessarily have the mental side just yet. Anyway, New York Giants are up next. So they already got Kayvon and Sauce. So they've gone all defense. You know what? This is where the fall stops. He will not fall out of the 2nd round, I don't think. But they take Trevor Penning. They get the nasty tackle. That dude is going to bury people, and I think they need that edge on that team. Him and Andrew Thomas together could be a very solid tackle group.
Was Andrew Thomas also like 6'7"? He played at Georgia, should know this. But
Yeah,
pretty sure
give or
he's
take.
also
He's
like
a big
6'7".
boy. He's a big boy.
Yeah, he's 6'5", so he's also massive. So that's gonna be a great combo. Texans again, talent. That's all they need, just talent. Anything and everything. I do think he's a little bit of an experiment, and I think we all know this. And he's probably the better fit in other teams, but I think the Texans are really gonna like him. They're gonna take Boy Mafe.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about a lab experiment? Goodness gracious!
I think it's an experiment, but like if they can figure it out, I think it's a very interesting player to have.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one, Chief. All right, the Jets are back up again. It's crazy how many picks this team has so early. So looking at who's available, I think right here would be a great time for them to pick up this guy because he's very versatile. I think that they would go Daxton Hill to provide some help on that back end. Their corner group is young, inexperienced, a little bit of hope, but and then their safeties are decent, but you could always improve. Daxton Hill is really the poor man's Kyle Hamilton. He can kind of play slot and deep safety and play a little bit up towards the line of scrimmage. He's just not as big as Hamilton. But I think he's a very good, very solid pickup for the Jets defense in that it's a chess piece that Robert Saleh can use back there.
I like it. Bears, I mean, honestly, like they need a lot, in my opinion. They need more than it says.
I can only really list a few.
Yeah, but they need weapons. They need weapons badly.
Mm-hmm.
They lost Allen Robinson. Which one do I want to give them? I'm gonna give them. If I'm the Bears, I'm taking Sky Moore. I'm big on Sky Moore.
Okay.
I really like Sky Moore, and if the Falcons somehow got him in the 2nd round, I'd be very happy. But we're not gonna go there right now. So
Sky Moore. Okay. Oh wait, it's still not registering the draft. All right, Sky. So Seattle up next. So if I remember correctly, Seattle they picked up Trayvon Walker in the 1st round. So right here, when you look at everybody that's available, it's an interesting conundrum to be in because I feel like another edge rusher wouldn't be terrible double dipping there. I mean, because you can't have too much pressure. I wouldn't necessarily go corner. There's not really a corner here I would take so high.
You're missing one.
Yeah, I know you're talking about McCreary, but I don't necessarily think he's that good right up here. I think feasibly at this juncture, if they haven't done so already, I think this is a perfect chance for Seattle to bring in some competition for Drew Lock to at least push them. So I think they pick up Sam Howell. Not exactly the greatest quarterback, but like bringing him into that system, I think would
Mhm.
help him because they tend to be very much more run oriented. So I think if he ends up being the starter, he wouldn't have to do too much. And realistically, Sam Howell walking in right now is already at worst the same quarterback as Drew Lock.
Yeah,
I
that's
think his decision making is better, and that's really where he becomes better.
yeah. So since you're not, we'll do this as a team effort. Since we're both co-Seahawks GMs, and
You're
you're
gonna
not
take McCreary.
you're not high on McCreary. I was gonna take McCreary, but I'll be a nice person. Won't get the McCreary. Instead, I'm gonna give them Nick Bonito because they need some. We're gonna double dip on the edge.
Double dip on the edge.
We're
Okay.
gonna double dip on the edge. I think
See,
that's a
the
better
funny
idea.
part is Nick Benito is so high on this PFF board, and then if you look at um like
Like
Bleacher Report's big board or
mock,
something, he's
yeah,
below guys like Josh Pascal
is
and Michael Clemens. It's so hilarious. And the same thing with Bleacher Report. They've got Kingsley and Igbare so low, and yet here they've got Kingsley at 45. That's one of the fascinating things to me is to watch how each team or each website kind of ranks prospects differently.
yeah, like very differently.
All right, 42 Indianapolis Colts. I think they're going for it. They've got Matty Ice. Shout out my boy.
Eddie.
Um, there's
Do it.
two guys here that I think they would take. I think they're going receiver because
Do it.
Michael Pittman is far from enough. I think. See, this is the issue because I don't. That's why because they have Pittman. I don't think they go Pickens because I think that would make it a little bit redundant because they're both jump ball guys. So I think the best route for them to go here is actually, well, I don't really think that they would go him that early. Maybe they don't go wide receiver. Maybe I come back and I look at some other things. Thinking aloud here. Who's available at corner? I don't know. Let's see.
McCurry.
I'm looking at McCreary. Hmm. Or maybe they do something else. Sorry, I'm taking so long.
Oh, you're good.
I think that they go Jalen Tolbert here.
That's what I was thinking you'd do.
Yeah, get themselves a nice route runner, somebody who can work underneath for Matt because Matt doesn't necessarily like to throw deep.
I mean, he does, but it's the fact that we never got to because a line freaking can't block for more than 0.5 seconds without having someone
Shout
at
out
quarterback's
Jalen
legs.
Mayfield, my boy.
All right. Well, with the Falcons in the second round here, what do you give us in the first round?
They
Hamilton.
had Kyle. Yeah.
Oh,
Hamilton.
we're taking some major talent here. I can't pass up on them. I can't. Pickies to the Falcons, second round. Need that. They need that, my
Terrible
man.
pick.
We need that, my man. We need that.
As a Falcons fan, I would like to just officially say I hate that pick because you had Arnold Ebiketie staring you in the face right there.
No, we need some pickies. We need some wide
Cleveland Browns at 44. This is interesting. So I haven't had any picks. It says they need a wide receiver. I feel like at this point, if I'm them, I wouldn't reach for a wide receiver because I feel like the wide receivers that are left after Pickens goes, I don't necessarily. I wouldn't take Justin Ross or Christian Watson or Alec Pierce this high. Those are more, third round guys. So instead, I think that they pivot, and they pick up another edge rusher because I don't think they're bringing Clowney back. I think they take Ebiketie. And
Clowney's a
Ebiketie and
clown.
Myles Garrett is quite a solid pairing to have.
The Ravens are. I don't know. What they have? They took
First round, they had Devontae Wyatt.
Wyatt. Okay. Well, we're just gonna make their D line even more insane then. We're gonna slide to Mr. Kingsley and Abare.
That seems like a Baltimore edge rusher. It's either somebody who's super long or super fast. Like Boye Mafe seems like a very Baltimore pick.
Yes.
similar to when they took Oweh last year. All right, so Minnesota, we gave Minnesota 12 Karlaftis. And again, I think that building out their defense is going to be incredibly important. I give him Lewis Sign here. How do you say his last name?
I think Scene.
Scene. I give him Lewis Scene here because I think Harrison Smith is a season or two away from a very steep decline. I think they need somebody else that can fly all around back there and make plays.
Mm-hmm.
And also, he's really good. So
Agreed.
I would think about giving him a corner there, like McCreary crossed my mind, but I think that Scene was just too great of a talent to pass.
With Washington here, the good old Commanders, I would like to give them an O lineman,
but there isn't anybody left.
There's not really. I've like Parham's there. He's good. Not sure if he's 47 good. Jamarcus Sawyer again good.
Abraham
he's
47 is good. Overvalued.
Kennard's there. Not sure if he's 47 good.
Kennard's more of a guard anyway.
Yeah, well, they need where they can get anything to protect Malik Willis because that's what they got in the first. So I'm gonna switch to the defensive side of the ball and hand them a play caller. I'm gonna give them Christian Harris. Dude's electric.
Okay, I like the fact that we're all ignoring Brian Asamoah because I don't think Asamoah is very good. From what I know,
that's why he's ranked 39 and average draft picks fucking 64.
So yeah, Asamoah, because in the Bleacher Report stuff that I've read, they've got him below guys like Jack Sanborn and JoJo DeMann.
All
right, so Cincinnati coming off the Sky Moore pick. I think you got to go a little defense here. Off the top of my head, I cannot think of a cornerback that is on their team. So I think
neither can I. Oh, they've got one, don't
they? I think they have Jalen Johnson, who's like a second or third year guy.
I can name them a quarterback because one of them came from Joe Russell and he played really well last year.
Oh,
my boy Vildor.
Kindle, yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, so then they need it even more so. We're going to give him McCreary because McCreary is relatively similar, I think, to McDuffie in that he's small but can kind of play anywhere and everywhere. He's a competitor, and I think that's what you need at corner. And I also I don't necessarily buy the Kyler Gordon hype as much as I've seen.
Yeah, I've seen him ranked very, very high.
Yeah,
Also, don't forget the Bears have the Lamar Jackson 2.0. Literally, the name is Lamar Jackson, SDB. So I think that's pretty funny. But he's not good. He's fucking terrible.
Anyway, 49. New Orleans Saints.
The Saints. They're forfeiting their pick because they cheated. But I think here they gotta their quarterbacks. They're gonna suck no matter what. But we're getting some help on the O line. I'm gonna slide them Abraham Lucas.
What do you know about Abraham Lucas?
Not a damn thing. I saw he's ranked 57.
I've seen him mocked in the 4th round in some drafts. He seems like he's all tools. So that's not a terrible developmental pick. I just think that's a little high personally. But and by a little high I mean holy crap, what's wrong with you? Anyway,
hey, listen, you don't know what's happened.
KC went skill position both with Booth and Dotson in the first. So coming in the second, they've got the one big need right there, and I think that picking this guy up would be actually, I don't think they go D-line. I think Travis Jones is a great talent. I don't think they go Travis Jones. I think they go edge rusher because Frank Clark is overpaid, and that's the only other edge rusher on that team that I can think of off the top of my head. So looking at the edge rushers available, Frank Clark, yeah, they've got Chris Jones, who's great, but I think let me sort by edge rushers just so I can get the names in front of me here. Because Drake Jackson is interesting, but I don't necessarily know how I feel about him. And then after that, unfortunately, it's where we kind of drop off into projects. So, you know what I actually think they do here? And I think this is an interesting thing. And I'm going back and forth on this prospect personally. I think they pick up DeMarvin Leal.
I like DeMarvin.
I think putting him in that situation in Kansas City is the best possible place for him because he's going to have to earn everything. Because if you were to put him somewhere like Houston where he would basically start immediately, I don't think that it would be very good for him because I think he's got the motor questions, and from the tape, I think that it's obvious that he's got some motivation problems. Putting him in Kansas City to make him earn everything, if he if Andy Reid's able to whip him into shape and Steve Spagnuolo can use him, he's going to be a terror.
Yeah.
He's very similar to
Definitely.
Rashid Hageman.
Oh, great. Well, Cupcake.
Yeah, my man. Well, I mean, you know,
Good
I'm
luck,
more talking
Cupcake.
about like the personality type thing.
Yeah.
Hopefully not play style because then that's a bust. But either way,
Yeah. Well, Eagles took receiver and corner, right? They took linebacker and corner. That's right.
yeah.
Jacoby Dean. Okay, well, we're gonna keep the trend of DB or not DB, trend of defense going. I'm giving him Jaquan Brisker because he's fallen a little far, and we're gonna get that defense rolling.
Yeah, I don't hate that pick at all. All right, so with Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh's got to go offensive line here because they don't have offensive line. Um, there's literally nobody on the team. Or like their offensive line was bad last year, and it's about to get worse if they wait. Problem is there aren't exactly a lot of O linemen left that I would classify as truly great pickups. Um, so looking at who is available, I think that the best thing for them to do here is to. Oh, where is he? Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, they're gonna take Daniel Falale or Falele, however you say his name. I think they take the absolute monster, 6'8", 380. Take him and figure it out later.
Put him in front of Mitch Trubisky and let him go.
Hey man, just bring him into camp and let him figure it out. The dude's got traits.
Yeah, called eating Twinkies.
Hey man, just because I mean he's 6'8", so 380 is gonna look a little different on him.
Yeah, that's a lot of Twinkies. You're right.
All right, bro.
I was kidding. With the Packers here, Jesus. I can't remember what did he give them again? Oh, Jabo, that's right. Jabo and Burks. Okay. Shit. I don't think they need this player, but I think they're at the point of like, best available.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy's kind of fallen a little far. I'm gonna give him Travis Jones.
Yeah, that's actually I like that. That could make that D line elite.
Yeah.
Get him right up there. All right, so Patriots at 54. This will be interesting. Bill Belichick being given a toy like this is going to be scary. I'm gonna give him Chad Muma out of Wyoming. That dude can move. Giving Belichick a weapon like that is a recipe to make some magic.
Yeah. Oh, let's see here. Mama to the. Okay. The Cardinals. Do they still have James Conner?
Yes, they re-signed James Conner.
And what do they have after that? Nobody?
That's a good question because they used to have Chase Edmonds, but he's
gone. They have nobody. Eno Benjamin. Never fucking heard of him.
Oh, he was from Texas.
Well, is he any good?
I think he was like a 7th-round pick, so who knows?
They got Trace McSorley. Oh, they don't. They can trade Kyler. They got Colt McCoy and Trace McSorley. They can trade Kyler right now.
They've got the two college football legends.
Yeah, they do. I think the Cardinals can go back to doing that good old, Chase Edmonds and James Conner, freaking double team, whatever you want to call it. They used to do. Yeah. I'm giving it Breece Hall.
Breece Hall. Okay. I don't hate that. It's interesting. Dallas at 56. Now it's an under. I don't think that they would do that. Never mind. I think right here, I think their best pickup would probably be. We give him Zion, right? Yeah, we give him Zion. I think they got to go Logan Hall here because Logan Hall's got a lot of potential, and they need somebody on that D line because they just lost Randy Gregory. So they're going to need a pressure to come from somewhere. It's not coming from Tank because Tank has had one good season, cashed in, and has been garbage since then. So they need something, and I think he's got the potential to be a very good pocket pusher from the inside.
Yeah, I was looking at either Drake or Logan Hall for them. So
yeah, I was thinking about Drake, but I take Logan over Drake.
Yeah. The Bills I gave them who? Devin Lloyd. Okay. Well, now I'm gonna give them. I think this is a interesting pick for them. but I think it comes down to two players. Justin Ross would be very fun to see in that team because he do have a great offense to learn in, and he learned behind Stephon Diggs. But I think with the Bills, they're ready for someone that can play, and play well. I would give him Christian Watson.
I was gonna say, please don't take. I read something that had Justin Ross going in the 7th round.
There's
That's
no
going to be
way.
an interesting thing I don't know. There's a lot of injury problems, and I think he ran like a 4.6 or 4.7 40.
Okay, well, so did freaking Kyle Hamilton. Guess what? He's still going top 10.
Yeah, because Kyle Hamilton's got the tape, and he doesn't have a spine surgery in his.
He ran a 4.63
on his medical records. Anyway, Atlanta at 58. These are my boys right here. So they've already picked up Pickens, and they already picked up Hamilton. I think you gotta. There's only one pick here, and I think it's relatively obvious. I'm gonna scroll just to make sure.
But I know I want.
It's got to be Drake Jackson.
Okay.
They got to get edge at some point. Edge in the first 2 rounds has to be addressed, and Drake has the athletic potential to be incredible. And I think bringing him in as a 2nd round pick, you don't necessarily give him too many expectations. We just got to coach him up.
I was between him or going for offense again, Trey McBride, and saying screw it.
See, a tight end so early on this team doesn't make sense to me because we already have Kyle Pitts, who's a tight end only in name only, but they just picked up a guy like Anthony Firkser. And
that's right. Never mind.
You can just find all we really need at this point is a blocking tight end who can run 5-yard dig routes. You can find that in the 7th.
Like Lee Smith,
pick up Derek Deese Jr. and move on with your life. Trey McBride is a luxury pick that we don't need right now.
Oh, you know who's flying up a board right now? I forgot. Probably look at him. Is that dude Weidermeyer?
He's flying up boards. I saw he was flying.
I've heard he's flying up. I've heard he's flying up.
That dude ran like a 4.8.
He ran faster than that, did he not?
It might have been a 5, actually. I don't know. I just remember his 40 time it made my eyes bug out.
Well, maybe think of someone else then. I was thinking of someone else.
It might be Isaiah Likely? Question mark?
No, I could have sworn it was. You're in a 5.03. Okay, never mind. It wasn't Weidermeyer then.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Listen, trust me. I've been reading these scouting reports. Weidermeyer ran one of the worst 40s I've ever seen. Jelani Woods.
Dude,
is probably who you're thinking of. Jelani Woods out of Virginia Tech or Virginia.
So you're telling me Jalen Weidermeyer ran basically the same 40 as Matt Ryan?
Yep.
Oh yeah, Weidermeyer's going like 9th round.
Yeah, I think you might be thinking of Jelani Woods because Jelani's out of Virginia. He's 6'7", 253, and he ran a 4.6.
I wasn't mixing with someone else. I know I saw Weidermeyer's name on the board, and must like flipped and I'm messing up. I don't know. All right. Well, we got the Packers here.
Yes.
They're gonna go O-line. I'm very high on this player, so I think I'm gonna reach a little bit. I'm giving Dylan Parham.
You are quite high on Parham.
I'm very high on Parham.
All right. Moving on. Pick 60, we've got Tampa. So we already gave Tampa Jordan Davis, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so Jordan Davis is their 1 pick. I feel like they've got to go O-line because I think the best thing for that, Darian Kennard, I think this is where they pick him up because he can kind of play either tackle or guard, but I don't really need him to play tackle. They've got their tackles, but they just lost Kappa and Ali Marpet, and while they got Shaq Mason for one side, they need somebody for the other to put next to Ryan Jensen. So I think Kennard can come in and compete and solidify that O-line because the last thing that you need is Tom Brady being pressured because Tom can't run.
He can run. What are you talking about? He's great. Kidding. With the 49ers, I think DB is what they're going to go with here. I think this is where Kyler Gordon falls.
So right there at 61 for them. I think that's the best possible spot for them to go.
Say it's not a reach. It's not not too late. I think it's a good spot to put them. So
we've hit on all of KC's real big needs, right? Yeah, we got him an edge. We got him a corner, and we got him a receiver. So, why don't they just double dip a little bit? You know what I'm saying?
I know I want to give them because I really love to see this player play for them. But I'll see who we go with first.
Or you're thinking Justin Ross, aren't you?
No, because I've already used. No, I don't think Pierce fits in that scheme. They've never had a jump ball.
Who are you thinking then?
It's the John Mechie the third.
I don't think they'll take him because of the ACL.
But you think they don't have to have him right away? That's the thing. So they gave him Dotson.
Yeah.
They've got Juju. They've got Travis Kelce. They've got freaking dude from
keep thinking.
His name's on my tongue. Mecole Hardman. Thank you, Mecole Hardman. They don't have to have John Mechie right away. They can let him sit for half the season and bring him back, game 6, and he'd be absolutely healthy and put him into an insane offense.
See, this is tough because I'm thinking about double dipping at receiver, but there's not a receiver right here that I think is a great I don't know.
It'd be a slight reach, but it's it would make your offense. It'd make your offense star.
Problem is there's also not Brian Asamoah is not that guy.
So we just agree they traded away.
Maybe I assume that they'll probably use this pick to move up at some point. You know what? Let's give him the freak athlete. Let's give him Troy Anderson. Why not? Out of Montana State, I've been on that campus. Dude played quarterback in college, so you can use him as a goal line guy. He's played safety and linebacker. I mean, why not? Pair him with Nick Bolton and Willie Gay and just watch him fly. And so this is where Cincinnati just picks up Justin Ross and makes everybody look stupid and has T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and Justin Ross.
See, that's what I would love to do. So I think we're going to do it anyway, just because I think it'd be fun to see. And we're going to do it.
Yeah, like I said, it depends on what the NFL teams think about his medicals. But, all right, Denver.
Final pick of the second.
Final pick of the second round. Denver is an interesting team. Denver has a lot of talent, huh?
James Cook still sitting on the board, just saying.
Nah, bro. They've got a lot of running backs over there. They can bring back Melvin Gordon relatively easily, and they've already got Javonte Williams. So I don't think they won't need a running back. It says they need corner, but I feel like a corner here would be reaching because I'm not a big fan of Emerson or Jones necessarily.
They don't really need a corner that bad. They've got Ronald Darby.
And they've got Surtain and Dart. Yeah, they're decent.
Yeah, their safeties are good. They've got Kareem Jackson, Justin Simmons.
I think they go high floor, and I'll give them Cameron Thomas, the edge rusher. Very valuable pick right there. So there you go. The mock draft is done. Let's see if the grades come in, and we can analyze our performances, see who had the highest graded pick, who had the worst pick. I'm assuming the worst one's going to be Jared at some point.
I won't grade full ones.
Oh, it doesn't grade it. Oh,
it won't grade if you do full. It only does if you grade if you do one team at a time.
I see. All right. Well,
so if we did individual ones, it would work. But
that is all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. So I think do you think it's gonna wrap up the episode for us, Jared?
I think so.
All right. Well, do you have anything you want to say to the wonderful people out there?
George Pickens at round 2, pick number whatever it was the perfect pick.
43. No,
43.
But if you want to keep believing that, go for it, my friend.
All right.
So we'll see just how right we were come draft day, and then for a few years we'll see if we really had the right ideas on a lot of these prospects. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you have a wonderful day.